Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game, and we are returning to Let's Play of Terraforming Mars, playing with the new Prelude DLC and one of the new corporations that are there, Robinson Industries. One of their special abilities is to spend 4 gold and get the lowest production boosted a little bit, so that's great. We've just about starting to do the Generation 7. We've got a lot of cards here, 11 cards. That's quite a lot to hold on to, and we need to decide what we're going to play over here. And what I want to start with is I want to use our development center to spend 1 electricity to draw another card, because then we can decide a little bit better about how we're going to do the rest of this generation. So we did drew worms over here, which we cannot play yet, but we would be able to play that at oxygen level 4, and I do think we are going to hit that this generation. So that's interesting. The next one that I do want to play is Invention Contest, and that, again, the reason is it does give us access to more cards. And it actually does that twice, because we have one of the bonus things that do turn science tags into new cards, or at least every second one. So that's great, and I do think we're going to get 1 new card, and then we can draw another one. So, a couple of interesting choices here. So, we can select one of these cards. Now, Copula City, we could still play that. It would cost us a little bit in terms of power, but it would give us a city and give us some money. Now, cities do give a little bit of income to our competitor here, so that's not necessarily the best. We could play this one. That would actually be a very interesting one, because it would give us a little bit of plants. It would give us also a couple of microbes, but I don't think we've bought the... We haven't bought anything yet. No, we only have pets. Still, pets do allow you to... This would place 2 cards on a pet, and that would give us some benefit in that sense. So it's not the worst card. On the other hand, overall, I think it's about 2 victory points, then maybe 2.5 for 21 gold. So not necessarily the best. On the other hand, Industrial Center here. Now this is interesting too. To get that, we would spend 11, so we would spend 4 gold to play the card, and then we could spend 7 gold to increase our steel production by 1. Steel production is worth 3 to us, so basically the payback ratio here would be, if we do it only once, it would be 4 turns. But we can also play the factory special tile adjacent to a city tile, and I think it does need to be one of ours, so that would give us a little bit more plans. I'm not convinced. It's a tempting one. You know what, let's do select it, because I would like to boost my production a little bit more. But I'm a little bit on the fence on that one. Nevertheless, let's do pick it. That is our second action. And we did gain yet another card from the conferencing thing. So that last one, is greenhouse gassing producing bacteria. So that does increase the temperature basically every 3rd turn. An interesting choice, but we can't play it due to the oxygen level. Nevertheless, we've exhausted our phases over here, so let's see what they're going to do. They're going to play a card here that allows them to play space actions a little bit easier, and they're going to put a thing on the tardigrades, which is slowly accumulating points for them. Now, the next thing I want to do is use this action here to boost our power production. And the reason I'm boosting power is, and I'm playing that first, is because if we play, let's say, the Great Dam next, power would not be our lowest anymore, and we'd be forced to actually increase the plant production. So that's not necessarily the best that we want to do then. Right, based on our cards, what are the best choices that we've got over here? Nitrogen-rich asteroid, not a bad choice. Basically 3 income and victory points for 10 or for 30 income, so 10 per victory point. That is kind of useful, but we don't really have any plant tags for now, but we could get plant tags soon. So maybe hold off on that for a second here, and I'm actually tempted to play Noctis Farming. Reasoning for that is we would get a victory point, that's nice, we would get some income, that's also nice. We would also get 2 plants, and we currently have 6 plants. Now the thing about plants is you can use 8 plant resources to turn into a greenery. And that would give us another victory point. It would also boost oxygen. So that would be kind of a useful thing for us to do. So I'm going to actually play Noctis Farming over here. We're going to spend some steel to basically minimize the cost, and that should be fine. That's our second action here. There goes our income. There come our 2 plants, and now we have enough plants to actually increase that, and that's going to be fine. They're going to do a huge project here with some titanium production and money income. Interesting choice. But yeah, there we go. Right, so we've got 23 money left and a little bit of steel and titanium kicking about. So what I'm thinking is we could try to increase our power production a little bit further. We could also try to use our titanium to boost a space project. We only at this moment have 1 space project, and that's the nitrogen-rich asteroid. How many plant tanks do we have? We could play plantation right now. It's not a bad choice. We can't really play farming for a long time. We need to be up here. So that's a bit out of the question. And this one, over minus 12 degrees, that's a potentially maybe. But I don't think we're going to be able to play 3 of them in such a short order. So you know what? We're actually just going to increase the temperature here by 1 step by expending 8 heat, and that's fine. And then what we can do is place a greenery as well. We're going to place that in between our cities to maximize victory points, and actually collect another plant resource there, so that's lovely to see. And that did bring us to resource points, to terraforming points as well, and that's fairly lovely. Okay, 23 more gold to spend. What are we going to spend them on? I'm slightly tempted to go for these 2 here. Can we actually do that? Yeah, I think we can pull that off. So let's play artificial photosynthesis and use that to increase our power income, not our plant income, but that should be fun. That is going to give us 4 power per turn. That's lovely. It's going to actually add a resource to Olympus Conference as well. Good. And then we're going to play the Grey Dam, because that means next time around we can actually play power infrastructure, and that is going to give us an ability to turn power into money every turn, and that is going to be hugely that's going to be very, very useful, I think. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So yeah, we can build this. It is costing us more than we can spend, but we have 1 steel kicking about, so we are going to discount that and build that, and that is going to increase our power production here to 6, which is lovely to see. Is there anything else that we can do? I kind of doubt it. We do have very little money. No, I don't think there's anything that we want to play over here. We could play the industrial center. I mean, we could sell stuff. We could sell a couple of cards to maybe play one of them. Like, for example, we could play greenhouse producing bacteria to gain basically another heat step every 3rd turn. It's not that much. How about you guys? Increase your plant production by 1 step for every 2 microbe tags we have. How many microbe tags do we have? None. But we could get, well, we could get worms itself and greenhouse gassing producing bacteria. That would be 2, so that's just a 1 plant production. It's really not that much. Yeah, I don't think any of these is that useful. I mean, the best one would actually be this one. And would give us another card as well, but yeah, I don't think we're going to do it. Let's keep that for now. We're going to pause here. That does end Generation 7, and we're going to turn it over towards Generation 10 and accelerate it probably a little bit. Earning good income here. I do think we have a little bit of an edge in terms of income. Their positioning here is a little bit better. They've got 2 plantations, 2 adjacent to each of their city, so each of their city is worth a lot more. Which things are we going to pick here? Now, cartel is an interesting one. Each earth tag you have. We've got how many earth tags? Do we have any? 3. And this would be a 4th one, right? So that would give us 4 income and would cost us 8. We would need to buy it for 3. So basically the payback period on this is 3, which is not that great actually. Great Escarpment Consortium would be lovely. That would give us a steel production, which is quite useful for us. But more importantly, it would reduce their steel production. But they don't have any, so it's honestly not that useful. So yeah, probably not that one. Greenhouse gases. Gain 1 plant for each city in play. That's currently 4 plants. It's not really that much. Now, it would give us another plant tech, though, and a plant tech might be useful to actually play the nitrogen-rich asteroid. On the other hand, small animals decrease plant production by 1 step. Do you have any plant production? No. So they're actually kind of likely to pick that up. You know what? We're going to still pick the greenhouse gases, and that's fine. Ore processor. That is useful. That would be very useful because we do definitely have 4 power, and we can turn that into 1 titanium and 1 oxygen level. That is fairly good, and the titanium to us is worth 5 points. So that's actually very useful. Now the downside of that is we do have another. We've got the power infrastructure, and that is extremely capable of transforming things as well. So it's kind of interesting to pick that one too. Titanium 1, titanium mine, very quick payback. 5 discounts per turn for basically 10, so that's a payback of two generations. I do think we're probably going to last until generation 11 or so. On the other hand, asteroid, extremely cheap because we've got a very good discount on that, and they've got another discount on space events as well. So, you know what? We're actually gonna hold the ore processor. Well, I do like both of them. All of these options are good. Let's do pick ore selector because I think it does allow us to increase our oxygen by quite a bit over time. Between these two, let's go for this one. I don't think we are going to play 3 more turns. Or do we have more Earth tags? Well, we do have the media archives, which we certainly could play. But anything else is not really an Earth tag. So yeah, let's do pick this one. It will also prevent them from having it, which is fine. Okay, yeah, let's pick these guys. Don't think we need this one actually. And then we can go for the titanium mine because it does have a very quick payback. They're going to play their tardigrades as usual. Now they've got hands, which is interesting because they need to remove some stuff from some card. And I think only they have that point. We're going to, as usual, try to gather enough cards here just to gain more flexibility and see what any of these things are about. Now, if there was something with a science tag, we might try to play it early on as well, just to get a new card as well. That would be the greenhouse gas bacteria, but I'm not sure that they are the best pick over here. Do we have anything that would increase plant production, or do I want to increase that by spending 4 money? I don't think I do. We've got currently 1 plant tag. We could play the plantation. That would give us 2. And if we could only get to 3, this would massively boost our plant production. So that would be very useful. This one does require minus 12 degrees. I think that could be something that happens this turn. So that is also interesting. And we've got the greenhouses. So that's actually super viable. So okay, I'm going to hold off and I'm not going to use our special ability this turn. I'm going to use the plantation instead. It's a fairly uninspiring one, I have to admit, but I still think it's going to be alright. So we're going to place that over here, going to collect another plant, going to increase the oxygen 1 level, that's okay. Then let's see what they're going to do. Shuttles, interesting. And what else? Okay, 1 additional point to probably the ants. Okay, that's fine though. So now we should have 2 plant tags, fine. Let's try to get a 3rd plant tag in play. There would be greenhouse gases, right? Yeah, I think there's basically no other way. Yeah, let's use it. Oh, we can discount it a little bit as well, so that's lovely to see. I'm going to overspend here a little bit just to prevent us losing too much money. So that's lovely, and now we have 3 plant tags. And that does mean I want to play the asteroid here for only 5 money because we can heavily discount it with titanium as well. That should give us a huge boost, both in terms of in terms of temperature, terraforming rating, and plant income. So yeah, let's do that. That is going to be super fantastic, and that should give us 5. Yeah, lovely. That's a lot of plant income that we've got going here. So that's nice to see. Ants. They're going to remove attack from their tardigrades and going to put it on the other one. They're also going to build an ocean here for 18 bucks, which I think is a little bit of a waste. But yeah, there they go. Right, we're going to actually use our action here to spend to increase our titanium production, because titanium is so useful that is fairly lovely. Now, I would love to play the ore processor, but apparently we don't have the money for that. We could also play the industrial center, but we don't have the money to actually use its ability, so that is a little bit pointless. So I think what we're actually going to do then is, it's a little bit of a waste, but let's build the power infrastructure, and let's use the ability there to... Oh, we don't have any action. Let's turn it over to them. No, they are passing. Okay, that does mean we can now use our action. Come on. To convert power, we've got 5 sitting in the bank, into money, which does give us more money, and that might allow us to do another thing. Well, yeah, now we could play the ore processor, but that is a little bit pointless, so that's not really worth it. Now, worms and greenhouse gassing production, they are useful, but... Oh no, they would actually be eaten by the ants. So, they are less useful than we might think. Industrial center, though. Yeah, we still don't have the money, do we? Well, we do. Wait a minute. You know what? Let's do it. Because we can discount that. That means it's only going to cost us 1 gold to do that. We can now place it anywhere adjacent to anything. We're going to place it up over here due to 2 things. It is going to prevent them from expanding anywhere over there, and they cannot build anything there now. So that's fine, and we're going to get another card because we did place it on there, which is actually a fairly good card. It does cost us 1 power, but it would give us 2 steel, which is lovely. On the other hand, we could use the action here to... We don't have any action. Let's turn it over, but we're going to get it immediately back, so that's fine. We could spend 7 to gain 1 steel, or we're going to spend 6 to get 2 steel, but minus 1 power. I still think this is the better pick, so let's use that. And that does really use all of our money. We don't have anything left, except for 3 measly bucks, which basically can't buy us anything. We could sell a lot of these cards here, but I think we're just going to hold on to them and probably spend them with our great income now. Notice we've got 33 for terraforming rating plus 7 income here, so we're getting 41 income per turn. They're getting 38, so that's kind of close, but we're also getting the steel and the titanium, which we can use to heavily discount stuff while they can't. Great, let's see what cards are available over here. Oh, a couple of good ones, I would say. So, flooding would cost them a little bit of money, would give us an ocean, would... That's actually not a good one for us. We might want to deny it to them. We could go for the underground detonations. That would increase our heat production, which is useful because we do have a card that actually does deal with that kind of nicely. We've also got the media group, so whenever we play an event card it would be discounted. And we've got a couple of event cards, don't we? No, not anymore. So that's not that useful right now. Magnetic field generators, reducing our energy production by 4 step for 3. I mean, since we can convert power into money right away, that's basically a -1 money for two plans, which really is not worth it for us, I think. So we might actually want to keep the underground detonations here. Power grid is actually useful. That is going to give us 1 power per power tag, and we've got 4. So that would give us 5 power, which does translate into a lot of money. Steelworks. Well, don't we have something very similar? Oh, we've got ore processor. Well, we don't need to double down on that, so let's actually keep the power grid here. Yeah, and in between these two, we're going to keep the flooding simply so they don't have it. I'm not going to buy it, but that's still going to be fine. Yeah, and this is just really too... I think it's really too redundant with what we've got. So, yeah, I'm going to keep these two, that's fine. And then we've got a couple of actions here. So, let's start out as usual by drawing another card here. So that's fine. What is that card that we just drew? Immigration shuttles. Points per 3 cities and a lot of income, but it's kind of expensive. So probably not this turn. That's fine though. What we can do though is try to build up our power production further. Well, actually first I want to use this ability here, because it's going to boost our titanium, and that is really useful to prop up for us. So that's fine. What are they going to do? Tardigrades and ants probably. Yeah. Going to add one thing to the tardigrades, and then they're going to eat that tardigrade and increase the ant population. It's still a good move because ants are worth more victory points than the other ones, but still it's something to consider. Right, we can convert one of our we can convert a little bit into plans, which would be lovely. We could go for the ore processor. I do think the power grid is kind of tempting though, because we can convert power so easily into money that I think this is extremely useful just to double down on our power. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to place the giant space mirror, discount it heavily. There we go. That is going to give us yet another tag and 3 income there. So that's 5 power tags now. And that should mean that if we're playing the power grid now, that does give us 6 more power income. And that is super useful. We are very low on money, but I think that's a very good combination there. Ooh, commercial district. Where are they going to place that? I think that only gives you victory points for adjacent stuff. Interesting. Right, let's see what else we can do. So, we actually got enough money to place something like the ore processor. Wouldn't be a bad idea, I think. These greenhouse gassing, I don't really want to use them because they'd just be eaten. Don't want to use the worms either. It's just not useful, not a very effective play. What does this do, by the way? Add 1 animal to any animal card. Gain 3 plans, increase your income by 2 steps. It's nice, but not that critical. Now I'm tempted to do this here. Yeah, I think we're going to get the ore processor. And we're going to use as much steel as we can to do that. There we go. And then we can convert 4 power into a little bit of titanium and a little bit of oxygen. That is going to boost oxygen, which is going to give us more terraforming rating and yet more income. So very nicely snowballing out of control here. They're going to play this small, yeah, and they're going to use our, Jesus. They're going very heavily on the ecological side of things, but it's kind of to be expected. Right, this is out of the question. It's too expensive. I think we can play the titanium mine. It would probably be worthwhile still. We could also go for this. So this is going to give us an income of effectively 5. This is going to give us an income of 2. Obviously this is strictly better. I mean, this does have a victory point too, but I think we are going to use this, and that's fine. There we go. And you can see we are pretty much spending all of these things. So there is an argument to be made that this is not quite as flexible, but still, I mean, we're using this so aggressively that I do think it's worthwhile. Now, underground detonation, that is not going to fly with us, so that's going to be okay. Media archives, we could think about whether that does make some sense. So we've played 5 events. They have played 3 events, so that would give us 8 income. And I think it does cost 8 to play that. Yeah, so this is breaking even, but why would we play it then? That doesn't make any sense. We'll hold on to it, and we are going to play it at a later point. Insulation, also not one that I want to play yet. So that does basically mean we don't need to play any of these cards. Immigration, farming, I would very much like to play this one, but we don't have the money to do that now. So, of course we could sell these 2 guys. They would give us 13. 3 more. We could also sell this one, 14. 15. 1 more. No, I don't think it's useful. And what other action do we have? Yeah, you know what? Let's actually increase our steel production by 1 more unit, and that's fine. And we're going to turn it over to them. And we can, of course, turn one of our things here into greenery, which is useful. But notice one thing. Notice this little symbol here. That does mean as soon as someone reaches level 8 in terms of oxygen, they're also going to get 1 temperature increase as well. So that's kind of useful to keep that in mind and work for that. But yeah, we can't delay it any further, so we are actually going to use that. We're going to build something over here, and we need to place a city in this location. That would be super useful. They might actually snatch that location from us, because it doesn't matter whose forests are adjacent to you. It just matters that it's some forest. So yeah, we need to be slightly mindful about that. Right, they're passing. That's okay. Yeah, we're going to pass as well, because there's not much else for us to do. So that's great. Yeah, and we've got a little bit more terraforming rating. They've got quite a bit of monetary income. That's a lot. How did they got so much money income? I mean, still we've got the steel, we've got the titanium, but that's a lot. How many building tags have we got? 13. So that does mean medical lab would give us, with this is 14, so that would give us 7 income. That's a lot. It's also going to give us a victory point. On the other hand, ice asteroid would give us 2 victory points and 2 income, and would allow us to place two oceans. And we really do need to make sure that oceans are adjacent to this city, because that city does benefit from that. Grass is kind of useful because it's going to give you so many plants. Symbiotic fungus. This one would be nasty, because in their hands that is going to boost their aunts and everything else. So yeah. Okay, let's pick medical lab. I do like that it has a science tech, so that would give us some benefit there as well. Between these 3 cards now, this would effectively allow us to draw 3 cards, because we've got 2 science tags on this, and it would be kind of nice. This one is going to give us 2 victory points, but do nothing else. This one would increase energy production by a lot, actually. By how many? So we've got 5. That is worth 5 power. Let's say that's actually quite a lot. Okay, yeah, let's do select this one. In between these 2, yeah, let's do select the ocean, which I think is fine. And then actually that does mean all of these cards are going to be good, and are going to overspend on cards again. But they're still so useful. Okay, they're going to use their usual tardigrade and other stuff thing. Now notice we've got enough plans here, and I'm going to immediately convert that just to lock this in to the next step there. And I'm going to place that, I think, over here. Yeah, that does give us some money because it's adjacent to an ocean, and it's going to give us the plant that was there. It's going to increase oxygen. It's also going to increase temperature. That did give us a lot of points there, which I very much appreciate. We're going to spend power to draw a card, which is lovely, and that is the 2 actions that we use. Now we've got 13 cards sitting here. This is just way too much, and of course they're going to play the symbiotic stuff, so that's okay. Right, so what else did we got here? Mining rights. That is increased production if we are placing this on some bonus thing. It's an interesting card. It's not a bad one, I have to say. Right, energy saving, useful. But I think we are actually going to start probably with the... Well, I mean, research, that would just give us more cards here that we can't really play because we don't have the money, right? So let's actually not do that, and let's instead use this to gain a little bit more titanium and a bit of oxygen too. There we go. That's lovely. And basically, energy saving medical lab. Now, medical lab again. How many tags have we got? 13, 14. Can we play 2 more? We could play mining rights and underground detonation, although underground detonation doesn't seem that great for us. So, but on the other hand, we can play ES Chosma National Park. So we're going to start here by mining rights. We're going to discount that as much as possible. We don't actually have to spend any money for that. We can place it anywhere, and we're going to get the resources that are on that tile. So we're going to place it up over here. That's going to actually give us back 2 of the steel that we spend, but it's also going to give us some money here because it's adjacent to an ocean. We're going to get more steel production. That's lovely. We do have another building tag, which is also lovely. And they are going to diddle away there. No, damn it. They did steal that space. It's a very good space. I mean, this is 3 victory points for them for 25 gold. It does make sense for them to do that. Still, it's annoying that they snatched that out under from us. We're going to place the national park here. Going to give us more income. That's lovely. Going to give us more pets, apparently. Oh, yeah, it does. So, that's great. And then, how many tags have we got? 15 now. So, yeah, I think at that point we can really play the medical lab. Let's do so. Discount it a little bit. And that is going to give us how much more income? 8. Lovely. And another card here because of the Olympus conference. So that's lovely. How much are they getting? 16. That's quite a lot. But we're getting more. So that's nice. Okay, we don't have any action left. Let's turn it over to them. What are you going to do? You're going to place some milestone and awards probably. We're not going to do that because it's just a house rule that we're not going to do that against the AI. But still. We could get a little bit more heat production, which might be okay, I suppose. Yeah, let's use that. It's going to increase our heat production by 1 tick there. It's not the best thing we can do, but still it's going to be nice. Okay, we could play this to get more titanium and steal a little bit from their titanium production. And you know what? I think that's a fantastic idea. Energy saving, again, quite useful. How many cities have we got now? 6, right? So that's quite a bit of energy. So that's basically 6 income per turn. This is 5 income per turn, but it's also going to cost them some. So you know what? This is actually strictly better. Let's use it. It's going to increase our steel titanium production. We're going to decrease theirs, and that is definitely something that I like to see because it's just going to be so much better. We do have a lot of titanium kicking about, so we should really think about space projects here. And I think we do have one over here. So yeah, let's use the giant ice asteroid. It is gonna be pretty cheap here because we can discount it so heavily. And we can place 2 oceans. And we're gonna place them right adjacent to this city here. We're gonna start over here. That's also gonna give us some plants here, which is lovely to see. And yet more plants over there. And some money because it's adjacent to some other thing. That's fine. Good. How much else have we got? Yeah, I think the energy thing is probably still the best, right? Yeah. Let's use energy savings. That is going to boost our power production by a lot. That's lovely. We can... Did we use that already? I think we did. Yeah, let's turn power into money. We do have still quite a bit of that, actually. And you can see just how much more powerful we are getting per turn here as we're doing these things, which is really, really great. Okay, I would like to use you, but again, the ants on their side do kind of prevent us from doing that. So that's not really useful. Underground detonation. We don't have the 10 money to spend on anything, so that's not useful either. And media archives just would give us a bit of money, but I think it's not really that useful. And even this, I mean, it would give us a bit more steel production, but we're going to be done by generation 12, so that's just going to net us 2 steel. It's just barely worth more than we are using now, so I don't think we're going to do that. In fact, we're going to skip our turn here, and since we can't even buy the research, I think we're just going to pass and turn it over towards generation 11. But I think things are going so quickly here now that, you know what, no. This is probably going to last at least one more one more episode. So yeah, I think we're going to go for one more episode. I'm going to put in a cut here, and you guys can rejoin me here on the start of Generation 11 as we're thinking about which cards we're going to buy. So, hope to see you guys around next time. Bye bye.